Straight next to Mac, the nigga in black is back. Yeah, that's a fact. Niggas like that, getting up scot free. Cause my low can't stop the real G. See, putting niggas on ice like Martini and Rossi. Cause niggas that be flossing on saucy. Yeah, rolling down the shaw. That's an old buzzer ass nigga tryna act raw. But it's the elder to the game with lyrics that'll slay like a motherfucking AK. Get the bomb ass lyrics to make you say, damn! Football mayhem, 187, kill nigga. I got the man, I got the man. 187, kill nigga. I got the man, I got the man. Cool killer, little set I'm chiller, yeah. Find me a hooker and a driller, cause I'm the black panther with the tail and the front. So let me keep the funk and I'm done. I won't play it cheap like get my clothes. I only fuck the hoes with cash flow. Cause I'm that nigga you figure to pull the trigger. Down with another nigga. 187, kill nigga. I got the man, I got the man. 187, kill nigga. I got the man, I got the man. 187, kill nigga. I got the man, I got the man. 187, kill nigga. I got the man, I got the man. 187. It's that nigga in black. Really grab his neck. So I'm laying down with the L's into the K. You better recognize. When I pass, I never miss the saucy road. Cause the niggas in the hood, the cats, the antidote. Putting in the ground, the law for killer cats as I slay. I'm shooting at the blast every day, yo. So I roll with my crew, infrared, see? Cause every nigga wanna be a real G. So won't you turn the page of the chapter? Don't get your ass caught up in the rapture. I see niggas in the hood trying to be like me. Coming strapped, run back, talking S-H-I-T. But you's a bitch, I'm calling you a buster. Trying to pose as a pimp like a hustler. You that hope that I won't get my stable. This nigga don't go a motherfucking fable. So check your nuts at the motherfucking front door. Cause you's a punk, bitch ass hoe. 187, kill nigga. I got no man. Yeah, nigga, 187, kill nigga. I said I'm 187, kill nigga. I got no man. 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 She riding and taking back up in this motherfucker. Yeah. And you don't stop. Yeah. Check it. To all you motherfuckers that did the first record, yo, check it out. This is for you. Yo, motherfucking ass is still working. You know what I'm saying? Why a nigga like me still getting paid? Haha, yeah. No, she came back up in this motherfucker. Check it.
That's what I'm thinking, brother. Hey, this is the third time, man. I done called Comcast. I restarted the reset my modem. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on.
Zelda to the game. Back in full motherfucking physics. G. And you don't stop. You are now about to witness Straight next to man. The nigga in black is back. Yeah, that's a fact. Niggas like that. Getting up scot free. Cause Cause every nigga wanna be a real G. So won't you turn the page of the chapter? Don't get your ass caught up in the rapture. I see niggas in the hood trying to be like me. Coming strapped, wearing black, talking S-H-I-T. But you's a bitch, I'm calling you a buster. Trying to pose as a pimp, like a hustler. You that hope that I want in my stable. This ain't no joke, go a motherfucking fable. So check your nuts at the motherfucking front door. Cause you's a punk, bitch ass hoe. 187, kill it, nigga. I got the man, yeah, I got the man, yeah. 187, kill it, nigga. I got the man, yeah, I got the man, yeah. 187, kill it, nigga. I got the man, yeah, I got the man, yeah. 187, kill it, nigga. I got the man, yeah, I got the man, yeah. 187, kill it, nigga. I got the man, yeah, I got the man, yeah. 187, kill it, nigga. I got the man, yeah, I got the man, yeah. She ride entertainment, back up in this motherfucker. Yeah, and you don't stop. Yeah.
You tuned in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. More bounce to the ounce than I say what counts. Don't nobody go home till the fat man gets it in. What's happening, chocolate people? Decided to do something on Dead President's Day. Decided to go ahead and to lace you with some game. Put them things in your eardrums. You know how we do it here on the Iceman Show podcast. Yeah, digs. You know how we get down. Decide to do a little something. You know, we got so many things popping off in the news today that I decided to go ahead and get on the mic and do what I do best, which is spit that hot fire you come to know and love. You digs. I want to apologize to everybody who was on about 10 minutes ago. I had to reset my modem. I don't know what it is. When we get a lot of rain, it starts tripping. A lot of times I don't know if it's tripping or not because sometimes I'm not on the computer until later on in the evening. Sometimes I'm on in the morning if I got work to do. I have to work with a client, but this morning in particular, I wasn't on my computer till about an hour ago. So I apologize to everybody who was on and we got cut off. Sorry about that. I apologize. But let's move forward. Got a lot of shit popping off. Got this whole Jussie Smollet thing going on. Got that Jussie Smollet thing going on. I'm sure you've heard about what has transpired so far, and it is not looking good for that brother. I'm wondering, let me not jump ahead of myself here. Now, here's what we know, or here's what we've been told in the media. We've been told that this young brother, Jussie Smollett, he's one of the cast members on the show Empire, Lee Daniels, very popular show. He's a very talented brother. He's an amazing artist. He can act, he can sing, he can write, he can play instruments. He's a bad brother. I knew throughout this past season that some folks were going to get some main cast members were going to start getting axed off the show. And I thought in seeing the I thought in seeing the this thing about to fall off here. In seeing the previews for the whole season, you know how they start the season, they show you the little snippets of scenes that are supposed to transpire throughout the season. Well, somebody was supposed to get killed off the show this season, and they weren't. So I was just like, well, okay, well, who, you know, I guess they decided to push that into next season. And the rumor is he was getting written off the show. Now, you know, we live in the age of social media where we have individuals who, in my opinion, have no dignity, no talent, no self-respect. And you know what they say about self-respect. If you have no self-respect, no one else is going to respect you. So we live in an age where people are more concerned, more people are more concerned about likes, having a pic like, having a selfie, getting a whole bunch of likes, than we do being quality down home folks like we used to be. And unfortunately, we have folks who will do any and everything to stay on the people's minds and in people's mouths, just because they feel like if they don't do it, people are going to forget about them. And I always say, if you got any real talent, no one will ever forget about you. No one will ever forget about you if you have any God-given talent. If you have something to say or something to do, and you touch people in a way that keeps you in the lexicon of the consciousness of the public, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. Now, I understand that news cycles can change in minutes, if not seconds. I understand that. But at the same time, rather than getting caught up in that kind of nonsense, why would you want to be a hashtag or in a news cycle anyway? And I think this brother has gotten caught up in something that is involving that I think this runs deeper than him. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. And everybody's starting to call this brother out and say, look, man, you know, what the hell you doing? Looks to us like you fronting. Looks like you made this shit up. And a lot of people who support him, because I bought his music. Because he's a talented brother. I bought some music off of Empire. And I don't normally go and buy people's music off when I hear it on TV. But some of the music has been very good. And I was like, oh, I got to get that. And I go right on Amazon Music and get it. I'll pay that 99 cents or that $1.29, and I'm in the house. And I bought some of his music. And again, he's very talented. But we have to ask questions. You know, here's how the police go about investigating crime. I got my bachelor's degree is in criminal justice. I was supposed to be a DEA agent or FBI agent when I interviewed with these people and saw exactly what they really do, not that shit on TV. I was like, I'm not interested in doing that. I'm not interested in doing that. Plus, you got to be a total sellout as a black person to do that kind of work. And I ain't no sellout. Okay. I have high self-esteem and I have a high self-worth. And I'm not willing to do anything just for no job. Okay. I got too much talent. I can go right here on these streets and make money. I don't need to kiss no white man's ass for no money. You digs? So let me get this CD out of here. So the way police officers are trained, a police officer, and we're mainly talking about investigators. A police officer is trained to look at the evidence, look at the people involved, and then corroborate witness statements, evidence, and alibis. That's what they do. That's what they're trained to do. And we have the best. Now, regardless of what we as black people think about the police in this country, due to their activities toward us over the past 100-some years, they are the best trained in the world, bar none. So regardless of the white supremacy and racism that we see in black men, women, and children being murdered by Caucasian law enforcement people, they are well trained. So when they look at a situation and they say, because the police don't base their findings on intuition and innuendo and conjecture. They base their findings on, again, evidence, witness statements, victim statements, and in some cases, suspect statements. And they take all of that, the evidence and all of that stuff, and they sit down with other detectives or if we talking about federal agents, they all sit down as a group, maybe 3 or 4 different people. And they say, hey man, what do y'all think about this? And they'll come to a conclusion. Now they may have differing conclusions, but it's all based on science. See, law enforcement used to be, if the cop said you did, well, actually, that's still the way it is. If the cop said you did it, you did it. And that's it. But now in the age of camera phones and social media, we've been able to bust up some of these cases that have been thrown on black men. We've been able to dispute some of these cases through DNA evidence and that kind of stuff, and got it's a lot of brothers sitting in prison right now who are innocent. They're just poor, or they're just broke and can't afford a good attorney. And some of them are in there because of prosecutorial misconduct, which, when we talk about Kamala Harris, her office as district attorney of San Francisco, they had a whole lot of prosecutorial misconduct. And yet them brothers and sisters still didn't get released from prison, even though their lawyers filed motions in court to have those cases thrown out. But they look at this case with Jussie Smollet and they're saying, this don't make sense. And I'm telling you how they think. This ain't about race. If something don't pass the smell test, then the victim must be lying. That's how they come to the conclusion whenever you get these Caucasian women that to this day in 2019 are still lying to the police that a black man raped them. They're still telling that lie. The same lie that that woman who said that Emmett Till whistled at her, which is back in them days, that was just like saying a black man raped him. And they killed that young brother for no reason. And this woman is almost 90 years old, and she's been able to live her life without incident. Fast forward to 2019. It doesn't make sense, brother. You said, now I don't want to rehash the whole case, but let's just rehash some of it. He said he went out at about 2 o'clock in the morning? And where does he live in Chicago? On Lakeshore Drive, somewhere around in that area? I know he live in a upper class area, because I know this Negro ain't living on the south side of Chicago where my family's from. I know that Negro ain't living over there. You digs? I know his black ass ain't over there. Okay? Now, he said he went out at 2 o'clock in the morning to get a Subway sandwich. It must have been a foot long. It had to be a foot long. Now, I'm not trying to clown the brother on his lifestyle, but let's just keep it $1.50. Some of us in this room are street brothers and sisters. Now, you know, at 2 o'clock in the morning, how many of y'all just get a yearning for a foot long at Subway? Now, to be fair, I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say, players. You're going to say, hey, man, ain't no Subway in my neighborhood open to no damn 2 o'clock in the morning. That's not true. In cities like Chicago, Vegas, New York City, Subway might be open till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Some of them might even be open all night. I think they said the one that he went to where he was seen on camera, on the security cameras, they said that one does stay open all night. So I think depending on where you live, they do have some that stay open all night. Why? Because in Chicago, you know, cities like LA, Chicago, Vegas, New York, definitely New York City. Where my New York City people at? Where my NYC people at? Holla if you hear me. In cities like that, cats get out the club 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They still want to eat something. So, what we used to do, we used to go to Norms. We used to go to Norms on when I was living in out there in LA. We used to go to Norms on Century and Hawthorne. It is something else now, but back then, back in the 80s, it was Norms. So everybody, if you didn't get that number in the club, nigga, you get that number at Norms. Okay? We didn't go to Denny's back then. We didn't go to Denny's. We went to Norms, player. Sometimes we was in there till 3 or 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning because we be in there talking shit. And that because we been on drank, so you trying to get that food in you to suck up that liquor. Okay, and then sometimes the breezies will fall through, and we be like, "What's up, girl? Let me holler at you." You know, just get that booty call number. You digs? So we can slide on over to the Snooty Fox or the Mustang Motel or the Encore Inn, or like Ice Cube said, the Come On In Motel. I've been in plenty come on in motels, boy. I remember one time I was at this. I was messing with this honey. I took this honey to this little motel off of like Imperial or somewhere like that in the hood. Man, you know, we went in there, book. I got like 4-5 hours, you know, because you could book it by the hour. You know how we do. Man, I took this honey up in there, man. Man, we walked past this one room. Man, this brother was like, I was like, what the fuck? And the door was like kind of cracked open. And the door came open. This brother was tied to a chair. He was like, help me. I was like, oh, bro, no, I don't think so, bro. I don't think so, player. I don't think so, man. And hey, I didn't learn my lesson. I went back there like weeks later and took another honey to that hotel, to that motel, and the LA County Sheriff rolled up and was like, somebody dead in here. somebody got killed in one of the rooms. I was like, oh hell no, I ain't never coming back here, dog. Hey, I learned my lesson, player. Okay. Hey, I stopped going to them hourly hotels back then. After that, I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and pay that $50 and go to the Motel 6, the All-Star Inn, or wherever. But we all know that those places exist. And you have to think with like a logical person and say, let me turn this heat off. We have to think like logical people and say, okay, brother, hey, we with you, man. You got millions of fans out here. We with you. But this stuff, this situation that you talking about don't make sense. This doesn't make sense. You saying you went to, okay, I get it. Subway's open that time of night. We see you on security camera. No problem. You get your food. We see him walking out. He says after he leaves from the Subway store, 2 white guys accost him, roughs him up, puts a rope around his neck, and they had MAGA hats on, Make America Great hats on, and they called him all kind of N-words and all that, and F, the FAG word, they called him that, and then they roughed him up and ran. Okay, right when I heard that story, I knew something was wrong. Let me tell you. Let me back up. Here's why I say that story was never going to hold up when it came to law enforcement. He said they had MAGA hats on. Who in the hell is just happened to be at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in Chicago, and it's a whole lot of shit popping in Chicago? Okay, I visited Chicago many times. Okay, and that's another city that don't sleep. Okay, let me tell you something. That particular weekend, it was below zero. It was like 20 below. And they said it's just some white dudes just happened to be walking down the street past where he was at with MAGA hats on. That's the first indication that something stunk about that story. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if it's that cold, let me tell you something. I've lived off and on in Minnesota, in the Twin Cities in Minnesota, where it get way colder than Chicago. And let me tell you something. People get off the streets when it gets like 10 degrees in Minneapolis and St. Paul. People get off the streets. They ain't out there in them streets like that. So we know right off the bat, we know there's something wrong with that story. The second thing that's wrong with his story is he said they put a rope around his neck, a noose around his neck. They would have already had to have that knot made before they got to him, which would lead me to believe, if we are to believe what he said, that means somehow, some way, they have had some contact with him before he left his condo. You see how this story is already unraveling? You see that? This is how I tell people, I said, I know the read technique, okay? That all federal, state, county, and municipal law enforcement use to interrogate people. It's all based on psychology, okay? It's all based on reading a person's affect, reading a person's body language, watching the veins in their face. When they start lying, with some people, their veins start popping out. Okay? That's one of the reasons I'm not really all that interested in being in relationships with American women, because I always know when they lying. Ever since I went through this second master's program and this psychotherapy program, I can tell when somebody lying. And so because it's not because I don't necessarily want to get out there and do certain things. I mean, I'm older now, so I don't have the same social needs that I had 10 years ago. So I don't feel the need to have to run the streets because I've done all of that. I ain't got nothing to prove. I've done everything. I ain't got shit to prove. So I understand that some people want to go out there in them streets at that time of night. I ain't got no problem with that. I have no reason to judge this brother on his willingness to go out and get something to eat. Sometimes I'll be wanting to go out and get something to eat, even where I live at right now. It gets, last week it was cold as hell up here. It was getting down to 15, 20 degrees here, which is kind of unusual. You think I'm going to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go through a Del Taco drive through because I'm sitting here fiending for some tacos? No. Mainly because I don't feel like getting pulled over by no goddamn police. Because the first thing they're going to try to do is smell my breath to see if I've been drinking. So right off the bat, those two things right there let me know something's wrong with his story. And again, I'm going to say this. I think this story runs real deep. I think there's a lot of other people involved in this bullshit. Okay? I don't think it's just I don't think it's just about him, because this sounds like a setup. Okay? I sat on this story for a minute because I actually wasn't even going to talk about it. But then when this weekend came, when we went through this weekend and they showed those two Nigerian brothers who one of the shorter brother, I've seen him on on the show remember the last season when they had Chris Rock on there and Frida Gats and all them people. Remember when I think what's his name? Terrence, whatever his name was in prison. I remember the shorter brother. I don't remember the taller one. It comes out that those two guys were the guys that accosted him. Yeah, you got to say, well, wait a minute, these two guys are black. What's going on here? What's really going on here? Y'all see where I'm going with this? It doesn't pass the smell test. And when something doesn't pass the smell test, then we have to sit here and say, this person's lying. Because that's the first thing that the cops are going to do. They're going to be saying, sir, you're lying. And they're going to be like, why are you lying? See, I don't think that, I think there's some other stuff involved in this and some other people involved in this. And I think there's a sinister issue that is going to come out in the next few weeks. Because again, like I said, you can say what you want to say about how corrupt a lot of these police departments are in our country, but one thing you can't say is that they're poorly trained. So when I hear people sit up here and say that police officers need sensitivity training and all this kind of stuff, that's a bunch of bullshit. They don't need no sensitivity training. We all live in this country. It's 320 million people in this country. And you have to find a way, I don't care what color you are, you're going to have to find a way to live with all these other different people. And if you can't do that, then you need to go buy you a goddamn island. Because it's not going to get no better for you. Which is, you know, when we see all of the violence that was exacted upon black men, women, and children during the Obama administration, and you see that carry over with the Trump administration, this is how these people have felt all the time. They just didn't feel comfortable enough to be violent. And then at the same time, there is the 400-year reign of the white supremacists is coming to an end. And that's another thing that is making these people violent and want to act out. And you see all these Caucasian women calling the police on black children and black men and women. That's part of that violence. So when you get these people, when you get people that say, "Oh, Caucasian women ain't racist like they men," bullshit, they ain't. Who gave birth to Donald Trump? His daddy? Huh? Did Donald Trump pop out his daddy's ass? No. Who gave birth to him? Who taught him white nationalism? First, it was his German grandfather who was a pimp up here 100 miles north of where I live right now. He ran whorehouses. So that makes him a pimp. Why? Because you had all this timber up here in the Northwest. They had forests all over the place up here. Hell, they still do. So you had mining, you had nothing but lumber corporations up here, and they had nothing but men. And a lot of the men engaged in homosexual activity, which is why San Francisco became the homosexual capital of the United States, because it was nothing but men in that Bay Area. That's where that San Francisco has been a homosexual city for years, where it was out in the open. You didn't just get gay. It didn't just get homosexual in the 60s. It was homosexual in the 20s. In the 1800s. It's always been homosexual. And some of these areas up here too. As well as a clan, as well as a breeding ground for the clan. Do your history and do your research, dog. Donald Trump's grandfather, was a pimp. He was P.I. till he D.I. He had 10 toes down in the game. And that's the money that Frederick Trump got to start his real estate empire. And his father brought that Nazism over here. Taught his son Frederick that shit, and then Frederick taught Donald that shit. So that's where he got his white nationalism from. Do your research. You don't believe me? Do your research. See, I don't get on here half-stepping. If you sit here and say, well, how can they let a grandson of a pimp get in the White House? Look at how Obama got in there. Look how Clinton got in there. Clinton was allowing the CIA to run crack cocaine into Central Arkansas. That's how every president gets rewarded the White House by doing dirt. Every last one of them. And Obama ain't no different. But this whole situation stinks because it doesn't make sense. And you don't have to have a law enforcement background or a degree in criminal justice to see that something don't make sense about this story. It goes from white dudes to now we know they're black dudes. You go from white dudes with MAGA hats and a rope to two black guys. And now the black guys, the two extras from the show, and that we already know, they've already proven, the media people have already proven that those two guys, in fact, are employed by the production company that produces Empire. So we've already made that connection. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, is this guy lying? Or better yet, if he's not lying, Is this a fabricated story? And if so, who benefits? Who is benefiting from this lie? Because it damn sure ain't him. Because this is ruining his this is ruining his image. He's gonna be tainted from this situation forever. This is definitely not something in the social media era. This is something you really do not want to have following you around. And we know that image is everything in television. And if you get branded a liar, nobody's going to want to touch you. I don't care how talented you are, especially if you're black. Let's just keep it $1.50. They're already looking for an excuse to put some dirt on your name. And then you go out here and do some shit like that. That's why I say, who's been you see this is what we have to start doing, black folk. We have to start asking the tough questions. Who's benefiting from this and why? Why would they have him do that? Huh? What's the benefit? What's the end game here? Some people are saying that the Democratic Party got something to do with this. I don't know. I haven't confirmed it because I haven't tried to confirm it. That's what I'm saying. That's what people saying. People are saying allegedly that the Democratic Party tried to run this hustle in support of LGBT policy. Now, let me stop right here. The reason why this stinks to high heaven, let me explain why. That so-called anti-lynching bill, which Tim Scott, what's his name, Elijah Cummings and Senator Kamala Harris called themselves writing some anti-lynching bill. See right there, you notice the bullshit is afoot. Why would you need to pass legislation for some goddamn lynching? Huh? People know goddamn well they ain't supposed to be lynching people. Just like people know, just like we have immigration laws on the books that are supposed to be in place to protect our country, the sovereignty of our country, and to protect the citizens, as well as criminalize the people who break into our country. So we don't need no goddamn immigration reform. We don't need any. See, whenever you hear these stupid ass policies and then they say reform, you know the bullshit's coming. You might as well duck because they're getting ready to throw the bullshit. Come to find out, within that anti-lynching bill is a whole bunch of LGBT bullshit policy that's tucked into that bill, where there's money that the LGBT community has already gotten more than their share. Okay? And it's been off the backs of the black folks who have been carrying forward the civil rights movement since the damn 50s. And all these other people have benefited and stepped on our heads, and they have moved up a notch in the social marketplace while we still at the fucking bottom, talking about we shall overcome. You have to understand, when they pass these bills, there's always a bunch of shit that's tucked in there in the bill. Like they say, the devil's in the details. Well, the bullshit's in the details. And they got a whole bunch of goodies for these LGBT motherfuckers. Let's just keep it $1.50. Put your feelings aside. By the way, hey, if you want, hey, guys, this is $5 donation Monday. You can hit me on the Cash App. The Cash App is free. You can go to the App Store or Google Play and get that Cash App. It's free. You can download it. You can donate. All we're asking for is $5 today. We got some folks that already donated. Appreciate it. To my man Triple T Kill, Monstar 86. Appreciate it, brothers. I think my man, let me see who else. I can't say, I ain't gonna say your name, brother, but you know who you are. Appreciate it. So hit us up. You can either hit me on the Cash App, or you can go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button and donate there. So if you got a PayPal account, all you have to do is have your credit card and your debit card on file and go from there. So that's what we asking for today. YouTube, where you at? Hit me on the Cash App, YouTube. Everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button. You know how we do. Hit the like button. Can you do them shits? Can you do them shits? Everybody on the Facebook side, hit the like button. So right off the bat, things are not looking on the up and up. And a lot of people are alleging that, or people are saying allegedly, that this whole situation with Jussie Smollet is a ploy by the LGBT community to fake some victimization so that they can get some more goodies. Like I said, this ties into when I say when I did my show a couple of weeks ago here, I said with the Kamala Harris Corey Hooker fiasco. Black folks, let me explain something to you. When we fought for that civil rights bill back in the mid-60s, there's no language in there that says black, black, blackity black, 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 black. Okay? There's no legislation that says definitively this has to stop happening to black folk. It said you cannot discriminate based on race, religion, creed, color, sexual orientation. Nowhere in that bill does it say anything about black. But yet when they passed DACA, that was specifically for people who will come from south of the Rio Grande River. And DACA also provided millions of dollars. See, this is why you got to call Obama out on his shit. He said rising tides lift all boats. But yet when it came to the homos and the immigrant community, he gave them millions and didn't give us anything. This is why I talk shit about the Obama administration. I'm not talking about him personally. I'm talking about his administration. See, this is how you call people to the carpet. This is why a lot of black folks are like, oh no, you ain't gonna run that Obama that Obama deception on us the second time. See, Hillary thought she was gonna slip in there, and she damn near came right out and say, hey, you niggers didn't vote for me. Oh, black folks voted for you. It's just the black men didn't vote for your scheming ass. Black men didn't vote for your dirty ass. Now, black women will follow a dog into a pile of dog shit as long as it ain't a black dog. But black men ain't that gullible. Black men will be like, wait a minute, hold up. We got fucked over with your husband. Okay, with that privatizing prisons and 3 strikes and you're out on the federal level and all the Nazi child support. All that was Bill Clinton. And so when Hillary came around talking that bullshit, black men was like, I ain't voting. I'd rather not vote than vote for that bitch. Okay? I know a whole lot of black men my age that was like, I ain't voting for Hillary. Now, all the slave-minded niggas voted for Hillary. But the black men who can think independently, we didn't vote for Hillary. I didn't vote at all. And I don't have a problem telling you. I'm proud to tell you I didn't vote. I don't give a shit how many of our people got killed trying to vote. I don't give a fuck. Because voting is a waste of time when there's no one to vote for. I'm not going to vote for the lesser of the evil of the evil. I ain't like you. I don't feel like I have to do something just because. Especially if it doesn't make any sense. See, you have to learn how to connect the dots. Because these people don't do something for nothing. You think they won't go? You think they won't manufacture some homosexual victimization just to get some legislation passed? You think they ain't that dirty? You better think again. You better think again. The problem with a lot of people is a lot of people see reality, but they would rather be delusional. They see what's going on, but they like, they ain't that evil. I'm like, you dumbass. You're a dumbass. It's a lot of people. You got to understand, these people at that level got a lot to lose if people start turning on the Democratic Party like they're doing. If this tide continues with people saying, I ain't voting for Kamala Harris, she ain't one of us. I ain't voting for Cory Booker. He's a phony. He's a fake, phony fraud. I ain't vote for Amy Klobuchar because she ain't doing shit for black folks. If that sentiment continues, they better do a better job of faking some goddamn hate crime like they did with Jussie Smollet. They better do a better goddamn job, because I'm going to tell you right now, the sentiment, especially with blacks under 40, is where is my reparations check? See, a lot of you Negroes over 40, a lot of y'all scared, a lot of y'all are timid, a lot of y'all full of shit, a lot of y'all want white acceptance and white approval. So you'll vote for anybody that's a Democrat instead of sitting your black ass at home. So you'll sit here and be like, oh, well, you know, I think what you saying is a stretch. Well, prove it that it ain't a stretch. You explain to me how the story can go from 2 black men, 2 white men with MAGA hats and a rope to 2 black men with no MAGA hats and no rope. Huh? You explain them shits to me. I'll wait. Simply pick phones instead. All right, everybody. Come on, Facebook. Let's hit the link. Let's hit the link, y'all. $5 Monday. Come on, man. Come on. Where them dead presidents at? Come on now. Let's get it popping. See, a lot of people don't want to admit that a lot of these LGBT folks are white supremacists. See, a lot of y'all think just because somebody's a homosexual that they looking out for you, that they ain't bad people. Let me tell you something. Them homosexuals are just as racist as the heterosexual sexual ones. Okay? I've worked with them. They're just as racist. Don't get it twisted, dog. So we have to look at what I consider to be common sense. We got to look at this through common sense eyes. You got to look at this with your third eye and say, hey, this don't pass the smell test. Something don't make sense about this. Something don't make sense, and this doesn't add up. And yes, this whole situation is starting to look like a political charade or a political shenanigans. It looks like the banana in the tailpipe that they're trying to put the banana in the tailpipe thing on us again. Black folks are always falling for the okie doke. We're always falling for the banana in the tailpipe because we don't want to believe in reality. And anytime anybody tells us reality, we brand those black folks as, oh, you one of these woke niggas, oh, you one of these conscious niggas, oh, you one of these pro-black niggas. And when people accuse me of being those folks, I tell them I'm none of the above. I just tell the truth. And a lot of you niggas don't want to hear it because you want to live in a fantasy world where the Democrats are your friends. You already know the Republicans ain't your friends, but then you turn around and say, or the Democrat, well, they looking out for us. How they looking out for you? You in last place. If this was a sports league and black folks were playing in a conference against Asians, Caucasians, Native American, well, I ain't gonna name them because they worse off than we are. But let's just say Asians, Latinos, and Caucasians, Negroes, we are in last place. And yet these people came over here way after we were taken from our land and brought over here in chains. I go to the athletic club and I see these Chinese folks over there. Some of them can barely speak English, but when they come out of there, they getting in brand new Range Rovers. They're getting in brand new Benzes. Because they came over here, got with their people, and built wealth. While we sitting up here talking about, give me a job. It's 2019, and we still got people like Reverend Al Sharpton and my frat brother Andrew, what's his name? Andrew Young, still talking that jobs shit. And still, instead of saying we need capital for black businesses, fuck them jobs. Every time I turn around, black people are being hustled. We're being hustled. And yet, instead of turning around and attacking the people who are trying to hustle us, you turn around toward people like me and point your finger at me and accuse me of trying to hustle you. See, it's easy for us to attack other black people who look like us than be a man about yours or a woman about yours and attack these Caucasian people who are subjugating your ass on every level. You can't vote your way out this situation. Let me explain something to you. When a person votes, essentially what you are saying is that by proxy, I'm voting for this person to represent me at the county level, at the municipal level, at the state level, and at the federal level. Because what are they? They are the representatives of the people. That we the people. That's who they supposed to be representing. But when they get there, because black folks don't understand the political process the way it really works, we think we can vote our way out of last place. So if we was trying to win a Super Bowl and we're in last place the way where we are today in February 2019, there is no way where we're with the current standings in our division. If this was a sports division, there's no way in hell we would make the playoffs, let alone go to the Super Bowl. You see where I'm going with this? And the reason why we stay in last place is because we keep buying into benign neglect policies that come from the Democratic Party. They come around us, they hustle us, we fall for the banana in the tailpipe, we vote for these folks, they get in the office, and then they give all the goodies to the LGBT community, the Hispanics, and other groups of Caucasians. But then when we start asking for shit, we get told rising tides lift all boats. You see what we get? Bullshit. We get Al Green songs. That's all we get. And I have had, I don't know how many black people unfriend me on Facebook because I criticize President Obama's policies or his lack thereof for us. Because black people don't want to admit that we got hustled. And at the end of the day, we're sitting here with empty hands. while everybody else. Let me tell you about that DACA bill. Since you got people say, well, okay, yeah, he gave them illegals, he gave them DACA. But let me explain when they pass a big ass bill like that, it's got all kind of pork in it. Okay, guess what? You know what? Somebody brought this to my attention. I haven't technically been up to Texas Southern. When I used to live in San Antonio or Stank Antonio, I used to go to Houston all the time because I dated women in Houston. I had business interests in Houston, and I got family in Houston, although I don't really fuck with them that much. So I would, probably once a month, I used to go to Houston. And I used to date this one sister that lived not too far from Texas Southern. And though, you guys know that Texas Southern University is an HBCU. And they got a whole bunch of Mexicans that go there, especially their law school. They got a lot of Mexicans that go to Texas Southern. Guess what? There's millions of dollars in that DACA bill for illegals to get scholarships and grants to go to HBCUs. Did you know that? Huh? See, this is what happens when you fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Y'all hear me? This is what happens when you vote for Democrats and you don't make it clear to them that the only way they gonna get in office is to make sure they give us tangibles, which is what they gave the Latinos and the homosexuals, and then give black folks a goddamn thing. Now you can sit up here and twist your face up and get mad at me, but I ain't the problem. You can easily turn me off, turn your computer off, or go do something else and not listen. I ain't forcing you to do shit. But if you gonna sit here and take this tongue lashing, you better sit here and take all of it. See, this is why, if I have anything to say about it, I don't get caught up in the little shit that what Jussie Smollet got himself caught up in. See, I don't get caught up in that kind of stuff because I can look way past that. See, I look way past that shit. And when I start getting information from different sources, I said, wait a minute here. This is a setup. And then when I heard that anti-lynching bill is making its way through the House and the Senate right now for Trump to sign, I hope he don't sign it. Because the homosexuals don't need no more money. They already got gay marriage. They already got what they call it, I forgot, there's something rights. It's family rights something. I forgot what they call it, where now in a same-sex relationship, they can pass down assets, when before they couldn't do that shit. Hopefully Pence will put an end to that shit. That's why Trump needs another 4 years to straighten all that shit out. Because the homosexuals and the feminists and the illegals got fat off the Obama administration, and black folks starved. Do your research. If you don't believe me, do your research. That DACA bill has all kind of money for these illegal motherfuckers breaking in your country to go to school at HBCUs, not white universities, HBCUs. Because I noticed, I was like, what is all these Mexicans doing up here? I thought this was a black school. What are all these motherfuckers doing up here? If they had a university, you couldn't go to that shit. Mexico has a lot of goddamn nerve letting they vermin break into our country, pushing all these citizens into our goddamn country, and yet you can't even migrate to their country. Mexico has some of the strictest immigration laws of any country than we do. But yet they don't have a problem pushing their vermin on us. And you got black ass niggas sitting up here, I'm for immigration, you dumb nigga. Why? So they could come here and take your goddamn job? Because that's exactly why they let them come over here for. They come over here so they can take your job. You dumb niggas. Black people are dumb as fuck. The main reason why they let all these South Koreans, Vietnamese, Laotians, Cambodians, and people from Latin America come over to this country, and even before that, they brought all them goddamn dirty ass Europeans over here and gave them millions of acres of land. And here they done freed you from being a goddamn slave, and they wouldn't even give you shit. You didn't get your 40 acres and a mill, nigga. You still waiting on them shits. And you got niggas up here, man, I'm going to vote for Hillary Clinton. I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. I'm going to vote for Cory Booker. Cory Booker was on the Breakfast Club, had the nerve to laugh when Charlemagne asked him, what about a black agenda? What you going to do for us? Ha ha ha, nigga, ain't nothing funny. Ha ha, hell. Oh, well, we got to help everybody. No, nigga, we ain't got to help everybody. We want to know what you going to do for us. And if you ain't planning to do nothing for us, if you think you going to be Obama 2.0, nigga, you ain't going to make it past the primary. I'm going to be honest with you. Amy Klobuchar ain't going to make it. Cory Booker ain't going to make it. Kamala Harris ain't going to make it. I'm going to tell you right now, the person who's going to get the nomination for the Democratic Party going to be Biden's ass. And he's going to pick Beto O'Rourke's fake ass for a vice president. That's going to be the ticket. Biden O'Rourke against Trump. And Trump's still going to kick Biden's ass. Trump is going to kick his ass. People don't want a president who's well-seasoned and educated. People want an ass kicker. They want a ball buster. That's why they like Trump. And even now you can sit up here and say, hey, man, all them poor white folks, I posted that on Facebook about that Southern strategy. LBJ was the architect of the Southern strategy. And you know what the Southern strategy is. You know what the Southern strategy is. Convince the poorest white man that he's better than the most educated, richest black man. And con him out of his money. Okay? So when you say, how come these poor whites always vote against their best economic interests? They don't care. See, that's what you'll never understand. See, you don't understand white supremacy. See, while all these other people vote color first, your dumb asses, I'm a LGBT. I'm a black woman first. I'm a woman first. I'm a black person second or third. because you know black women don't want to be black anyway. That's why most black women hate white women, because they hate that white women get all the perks and they don't have to do shit. They don't have to do shit. They have access to all the money. They have access to all. They don't get harassed by the police. They don't get murdered by the police most of the time. They can talk any kind of way to the police. Meanwhile, you get stopped. You got your hands at 10 and 2 on the steering wheel, and you still get yanked out of the car and get the shit beat out of you, or even shot or hung in a jail cell. But you want the white woman status. You want Caucasian woman status, and you'll never get it. I don't care how many straight, stringy ass yak hair weaves. I don't care how many weaves you get, how many weaves you glue on your head. You still ain't, and how many contacts you put in your goddamn eyes. Bitch, you ain't gonna never be white. And you'll never be accepted as white. I don't care how many white men's dicks you suck. You still gonna be a nigger. Now I know that's difficult for you to hear, but hey, on the Iceman Show podcast, we tell the truth. We don't tell you lies. We tell you the truth. I might not be the king of receipts, but I am the prince of invoices. Can you dig it? Hey, guys. He said he called it Geraldine. Hey guys, what's up on the donations, man? Hit me on the Cash App. Come on, guys. Come on, man. You off today. It's Dead President's Day. Let's get it cracking. Come on, man. Let's get it cracking. You need me to give you a minute? I'll give you a minute. But when I come back, if I don't see more money on the Cash App and in PayPal, we're gonna have a problem. You digs? Keep it locked right here. It's the Iceman Show podcast. All right, those of you who have not donated, I'm not talking to the people who have. The people who have not donated yet, you need to hit the Cash App or you need to hit me at asktheiceman.com. If you do not do that in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to end the show. Okay? You digs? All right now. No, fuck you, dude. Hey, get this Dante Peterson out of here. Or Dante Peterson. Where, hey, Timmy Diamonds, come on, man. Get this clown out of here. Get this bitch nigga out of here. Do I need to mod anybody else up in here? I don't see brown sausage in here. If you guys are modded up, handle them shits, man. Get this guy out of here. Oh, I forgot B the Great B. You're a mod too. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. I want to show you guys something. And I've been looking for a nexus between police and these white supremacist groups and finally got it. I want to show you guys something. And I mean, I would rather show you this than tell you, because a lot of times when you're a black person, especially a black man, when you tell other black people stuff, they tend to, oh, fuck you, nigga, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. But if a white man tells you, or a white woman tell you, then it must be true. So I'm going to let the white folks tell you. Let me find this shit. Show y'all how these motherfuckers get down. Y'all ready for March Madness? Let me fast forward through this newscast. I'm gonna show you how these motherfuckers get down up here. I told you that this is Klan country up here. See, a lot of people. I try to get black folks out of the mindset. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Let me show you this shit. You need to see this with your own eyes. So you won't be saying, oh, I don't hear nothing with no nigga. I ain't heard nothing that nigga say. Okay, but don't look at my show then with your black ass. Since I'm lying to you, let me show y'all this shit. Let me go ahead and get it. Let me fast forward. Let me rewind it back a little bit. These corny motherfuckers. Let me see here.
Let's check out the latest drive time. Now, this is the drive time from Wilsonville to Salem.
Turn this shit up.
93 minutes. That's about an hour and a half to get from Wilsonville to Salem.
Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this.
Harley, thank you. Now, our top story tonight calls for an independent investigation into hundreds of text messages between a Portland police lieutenant and the head of the Patriot Prayer Group.
That lieutenant has since been reassigned, and the mayor and other council members.
See how they do white folks when they do wrong? They just reassign them. They don't get fired.
That then Sergeant Jeff Nia also texted with members of left-wing protest groups and sometimes used sympathetic language. Let's switch to our Lisa Balick. She's been following.
That's bullshit.
She also spoke one-on-one with the mayor today. What did he have to say?
Well, the texts raise a lot of questions whether there is bias within the police force. And today, the mayor and the police chief are both promising a full investigation.
The police chief is a black woman.
The people in this community have long believed that there's a bias in our police bureau in favor of the white nationalism movement.
The mayor, who is also the police commissioner, is promising an investigation into what he calls disturbing texts between a police bureau commander and the head of the right-wing Patriot Prayer Group. The 2 years' worth of messages between Lieutenant Jeff Nia and Joey Gibson paint what some call an overly friendly relationship. For example, some of the texts reference a Patriot Prayer member who had a warrant out for his arrest. Nia texting to Gibson, "By the way, make sure Tiny has his court stuff taken care of. I was told on the radio at the Jameson Square event he had a warrant. I told him we would not be arresting Tiny right now. So please be sure he's good to go before coming down."
This is a lieutenant.
I talked one-on-one today with City Commissioner Joanne Hardesty.
Paramilitary organizations act in lockstep. So if we have one police officer that's doing this, there's many more than just one.
The police union that represents Nia calls the mayor and Hardesty's comments a rush to judgment that, quote, they serve to inflame and prejudice any administrative investigation and its outcome. Lieutenant Nia was given direction by PPB management to establish relationships with known event or demonstration organizers. This was his job, is to essentially be the BFF of a lot of different groups. Do you buy that?
No, I don't buy that at all. I don't think that's an appropriate role for any member of the Portland Police Bureau to play.
Now, again, this is all just unfolding, but I learned this afternoon that both the police chief, who is just getting back from a trip out of state, and the mayor are planning on what they're calling a listening session next Thursday night at the Maranatha Church, a public meeting for people to air their concerns about these texts. You can read all these texts, by the way, at coin.com. Live in downtown Portland, Lisa Balick, Coin 6 News.
As Lisa just mentioned, the lieutenant involved in this, Lieutenant Jeff Nia, is part of the Portland Police Commanding Officers Association. We read the statement. Well, we also...
You see that? You see that? That's a direct link or nexus or connection between right-wing assholes and the police. Do you have that kind of access to your police department? Do you have anybody at the police, any lieutenants and sergeants in your local county sheriff department or municipal police department who got you on speed dial? I'll wait. See how they get down? That's their words, not mine. And that same group, Patriot Prayer, they are a nationwide right-wing hate group. They were caught when they marched the last time, which was right before the summer. Well, right like fall, the beginning of fall. They had weapons stashed. They had long guns stashed on a parking garage, at the top of a parking garage. And the police and the mayor said that the reason why the police department didn't get alarmed is because they didn't have any ammunition. So why did they have those guns up there? And so we're supposed to believe that they didn't have no ammo? Y'all see where I'm going with this? This is why I talk so much shit on this show. This is why I get in y'all asses. While you sitting up there thinking, accusing me of the problem, look what they are doing under your nose. And it ain't just here. It's all over this country. It ain't just in the South, like you've been conned into believing. That's why I said, I want you to hear their words instead of mine, because you're going to be biased toward me. They ain't going to do shit. Ain't going to be no oversight. It's I'm white and I say so. We do what we want to do. We the police. We do what the fuck we want to do. This is why you got to get rid of the Kamala Harrises and the Obamas and the Cory Hookers. That's why you got to get rid of those people, because they're going to protect them. You think Cory Booker is going to get in the White House and take care of his own people like Obama did us? We had more people get murdered under Obama's administration than we had in any other presidential administration. Trump is the best thing that ever happened to black men, because he's putting them gays, they putting them homos in line, and he's putting them feminists in check. This country is going broke, and they out here giving women with 5 kids from 6 different niggas $1,000 a month for SNAP benefits. How long you think we're gonna be able to keep doing that? The country's going broke, man. They lowered the taxes. So let me just tell you something. Amazon made, I don't know, billions in profit 2017, fiscal year 2017, fiscal year 2018. They made billions. Guess how much taxes they paid for 2 years? Guess how much federal income tax they paid as a corporation? I'll wait. I'll wait. If black folks are getting tangibles and nobody else is, you have to understand the Asians, especially the Hispanics, all of them talk that brown pride shit. They talk all that bullshit, but it wouldn't be no brown pride if it wasn't first some black pride. Okay? Let me explain to you something. The way Congress works is, and the way this country works, everybody don't get what they want at the same time. And they always, when black folks start talking about, hey, where's my check? When they start saying, where's my check? All of a sudden we get excuses. But the feminists, they get all the money they want. Like Pelosi got that domestic violence bill passed. There's all kind of billions of dollars that if you wanted to start a women's shelter, nigga, see, if I was a sorry nigga, I would go and start a women's shelter, because I can write a grant right now to the federal government, and as long as I got women with children in my facility, there's millions of dollars. Did you know that? That's why that's why having Trump in there benefits us, because he puts down because there's no money for any of those programs. There's no money for them. As soon as Trump took office, the white supremacist females who run these bullshit ass shelters and all this other little shit, all of a sudden, they start talking about, oh, we're gonna lose funding. This is right when Trump got in office. They knew the writing was on the wall, that they can't keep giving billions of dollars for these little pet projects that these white supremacist females come up with. So that's why. That's how we benefit. That's why black men, even though we're not going to vote for Donald Trump, we don't need to. As long as Trump is in office, they're going to put all that bullshit in check. No, that Dante, whatever is B the Great B, got rid of his ass. Yeah, LAPD recruited in Alabama, Mississippi, and all over the Southeast, and brought all them devils out there to California. Let me explain something to y'all. See, you guys, see, you have to understand how black people view the world. See, black people dig their head in the sand, and then they try to look up like this and try to see reality. You can't see reality like that. You got to keep your head up. And see, black men don't want to stand for nothing, because black men know if they start standing up, they're going to have to start fighting these white supremacists head on. Did y'all hear about that brother that killed them 5 people in the workplace this past weekend? What was it, like Thursday or Friday that happened? He killed 1 Mexican and 4 white dudes. What do you think, without me even talking about the situation, what do you think that was about? What do you think that was about? Come on now. What was, right, in outside of Chicago. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that brother did that? Nah, it ain't just a toxic work environment that Timmy Diamonds. That's true. They did create a toxic work environment. Exactly. It was because of racism. See, he was gonna get fired. They were already fucking with him. And I guarantee that punk ass Mexican, the Mexican dude was probably somebody he had to deal with. He had to report to. You digs? And he straight up killed all them motherfuckers. Brothers are getting tired. Brothers are getting tired of the bullshit. They was talking about they were gonna fire him that day, and he knew that was about to pop off. So what he did, he said, "Okay, I fixed them motherfuckers." So he snuck his gun up in there Waited till the right time and pop, 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 nigga. Pop, pop, nigga. Pop, pop, nigga. What you say, Sancho? Pop, 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 nigga. Have a burrito on me, Sancho. Pop, 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 pop. He handled them shits. He handled that shit. Okay? Now, you might not agree with the way he handled it, but that's where black men are in this country. See, a lot of you guys take that racism at work because you too stupid to do anything else. You're too stupid to do anything else. See, he let that shit get to him to the point where he let it ruin his life. See, I ain't willing to do that. See, I don't go to the job with that mentality that they doing me a favor. See, the problem with black people in America is we think Caucasian people are doing us a favor. When it's our technology, it was our know-how, it was our hard work that built this goddamn country. While their lazy asses were sitting on the porch drinking mint juleps. And we continue to give them our best and brightest. What for? Instead of building your own shit. See, black folks don't see any honor. When I get people who say to me, how come you ask your listeners to donate money? Because because I provide a service. I provide a service. That's why. And they're my people. Those are the first people I need to be asking. The fuck am I going to cross the street and ask Sancho to donate? What the fuck I'm going to do? Cross the street and ask Bob and Tim to donate for? They ain't my goddamn people. You are. So if you don't support me, they ain't going to support me either. See, that's something we don't get straight. So a lot of black men and women, especially black men, we look at opening our own business and doing business with each other. We see that as a step down. Because it ain't in our minds, if we can't do business with Charlie and them, then there's no reason for me to be in business for myself. Because I don't want to do business with my own people. See, we got to get off of that shit. We got to get off of that, man. I'm telling you right now, if we don't get tangibles for 2020, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to be in bad shape. They already trying to wipe us off the face of the earth. And I feel sorry for you black men, you young black men who have mammies and Sambos and coons for mothers, who go out here and vote for anybody who's a Democrat. Get this B the Great B. Get this fuckface motherfucker out of here. Get this LaPranks out of here. Exactly. That's how, hey, Timmy, that's exactly how they'll do. They'll have your old black ass training some 20-year-old white girl or some old 21-year-old white boy, and you'll be training them, and they'll be like, hey, nigga, we're going to be, we know we're going to be getting rid of your black ass. We ask for that kind of treatment. We tolerate being treated like dog shit. And then we going to sit somewhere every 2 years or every 4 years or every 6 years and vote for some dickwad who has a D behind his or her name, and we just go vote for any motherfucker just as long as they're a Democrat. And then when they get in office and don't do shit for us, we just sit there and complain amongst ourselves. Junebug, whoever you are, you're gonna get blocked if you keep posting dumb shit. As a matter of fact, Be the Great B, can you block this Junebug motherfucker? I guess Walmart, the mayonnaise militia got the night off tonight. The only people who gonna save us is us. But we gonna have to continue to wander in the wilderness for another 40 years before we wake up. Cause Christianity ain't gonna save us. We already know that ain't gonna save us. We know voting for Democrats ain't gonna save us. We're all out of options, player. If we don't start supporting black businesses and creating a black economy where the black dollar circulates through the black neighborhoods, and we turn these black neighborhoods into black communities again, and that dollar swirls around the black community, 4 to 5 times over a 30-day period or more, we're not going to be here. You can't, look, let me explain something to you people. You cannot erase a whole race of people, cannot survive working for some other race. That is not going to work. In the next 25 to 50 years, that is not going to work. If you got by kissing ass for 20 and 30 years and you got by being able to do it with your mammy coon sambo ass, that you can best believe your children won't be able to do it. The average job, whether it's blue collar or white collar, it only lasts a maximum of 3 to 7 years, which means the likelihood of you retiring, whether it's private sector or public sector, the likelihood of you retiring is damn near slim to none. There will be no 30-year, you get that gold watch retirements anymore. Those days are over with. So the only thing that if black folks wake up and realize that we have to depend on each other, until we start doing that like we did back during the Black Wall Street days, we're going to die. We're going to start dying off. We're already dying off. Let me explain something to you. Because of abortions, black women have literally murdered over 13 million black babies. Did you know that? If they say we're only about 14 to 15% of the population, you know why those numbers have never gone up any? Because of white supremacy, because there's measures in place that kill, socially stagnate, and marginalize black men and women. And it's getting worse. Every generation is getting worse. Right now, black teens have the highest unemployment rate of any other race group of teens. They're comparable age. Did you know that? Why? Because there's no black businesses employing them. While you're sitting up there telling your son to go work at Burger King, instead of him being able to work for his aunt or his uncle or you or his daddy, then we got these black women who would rather get child support than to have a man in the house. We got these black women who rather be a single mom and be on welfare Section 8 than to have a man in the house because they want to be able to use their vaginas as a small business and a hourly motel. That's why we're no more than 14, 15% of the population. That's why. Those are some of the factors, some of the main factors as to why our population numbers are not growing. And it's our fault. You can blame shit on the white man if you want to, but it's our fault. And that's why I support Trump cutting welfare. I support Trump cutting Section 8 like he's doing. I support him cutting SNAP benefits because these lazy bitches have gotten so fat off of welfare and Section 8. That's one of the reasons why they think they can talk to black men any kind of goddamn way, because all their bread and butter, their bread is getting buttered by white zaddy and white mommy. So they're like, fuck you niggers. Fuck you niggas. All I need a black man for is sperm. That's all I need. After you get me pregnant, fuck you, nigga. You ain't even gonna see your kids. That's what kind of black woman you got to deal with, black man. And that's why I love the shit that Trump is doing, because it's directly affecting these sorry black single moms. Well, they hurting them other races of women too. I don't care. I don't care what they're doing to white women. I don't care what they're doing to Hispanic women. They ain't none of my fucking concern. They got your ass worrying about what you gonna buy for your wife or your girlfriend for Valentine's Day. And you sitting up here in debt already. I'm glad I ain't got them problems. I'm glad I ain't had them problems. Because I'll tell a bitch in a minute, I ain't buying your shit. And if you think that's an excuse for her to go cheat, the bitch is cheating already. She cheating anyway. You think buying her a $500 necklace is going to stop her from parting her legs for any nigga that she see out here on the streets that she think got more money than your black ass got? Fuck out of here. American women of all races are the most disloyal bitches on the fucking planet. Black women are just worse than all the rest of them. But they're all sorry as fuck. Trust me, I done dated every woman out here of all races. And I can tell you right now, ain't none of them about shit. But they treat the other races of women treat their men 10 times better than black women treat black men. Why? Because black women have been riding the feminist wave for the past 50 years, getting their bread buttered by these goddamn white supremacists in the Democratic Party, lead going all the way back to Kennedy with this benign neglect policy. The Democratic Party ain't no friend of the black man. You think Nancy Pelosi care about black men? You think Hillary Clinton care about black men? You think what's her name? Senator Gillibrand care about black men? Don't none of them Democrats care about black men. Hell, if they get away with locking all of us up at the same time, they would. Because Me Too, Me Three, Time's Up, all that shit is indirectly designed to fuck over black men. The only men who are being prosecuted for any kind of crimes against women have been black men. then you got Terry Cruz's old buck broken ass running around here with his big old swole ass running around here letting white men grab his dick. I lost all respect for Terry Crews. I have no respect for Terry Crews. I used to like Terry Crews. I used to watch his bullshit reality show that used to come on. I had mad respect for that brother back then. I ain't got no respect for Terry Crews now. He's a fucking weak ass, stupid ass, fucking weak ass fraud of a man. I cannot support black men who let other men grab their dick and you not knock them the fuck out. How you come in the game is how you leave out the game. I talk about that stuff in my first book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. If you don't have this book, you need to get it. You can get it at asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the add to cart button, or you can go on amazon.com, put The Game of Life According to the Iceman Volume 1 in, and it'll pop up. I talk about that in this book. If you walk into a room and you you have the energy about you that you're a bitch nigga, and that you don't mind if somebody disrespects you, then you're going to get done like Terry Crews. See, my father's a Terry Crews type of dude. That's why me and him don't get along. Because I can't get along with weak black men who don't stand up for themselves. But yet they want to fight another black man. Oh, they quick to try to fight a family member, but they ain't gonna fight that white supremacist who's really doing harm to them. See how that works? Okay? We got to cut the shit out, man. We got to stop. Black men, we got to stop playing. Black men, we got to stop playing and chasing ass and kissing ass and doing all the stupid shit we do online. We got to stop all that, man. We out here getting our asses kicked. And we going to continue to keep getting our asses kicked until black men stand up and say, fuck the bullshit. Like I said, I don't support what that brother did, but I support why he did it. Because he ruined 5 lives. He took 5 lives with him. And he probably ruined some families, because I guarantee those white men, at the least, they were probably the only breadwinners in their family. So when you take away the breadwinner, hey, that white woman, she ain't gonna go out there and work nowhere. She is now. Because that life insurance ain't shit. $200,000 or $300,000 in life insurance ain't shit. But I respect why he did that shit. He said, fuck this shit. I'm about to lose everything. Hey, you about to lose your life. How about that? I got more respect for him than I do some of you. He was willing to do some shit on his way out while you sitting there with your head down kissing ass. I want you guys to think about this when you, especially my Facebook people, I want you to think about this when you go to work tomorrow. No, I want to ask you right now. What does that white man's dick taste like that you got to report to tomorrow? I'll wait. What does this dick taste like? Does it taste like amaretto motherfucker? Huh? What does this dick taste like? What does that white woman's ass taste like, black woman, that you suck every fucking morning when you come to work? Huh? What's that white woman asshole taste like? Huh? Does it taste like vanilla bean? Huh? I want you to think about this when you go to bed tonight, because I hope I pissed your ass off by asking you that. Let me say this to you, black folks. It's gonna get worse for us. It's gonna get worse for us economically, and it's gonna get worse for us socially. If you think we're in a weakened position today, let this next election go by and we not get nothing in writing saying that we get specific tangibles, reparations, capital, land set-asides, protected status like what the Native Americans have. A protected status so that we don't get, it's not so easy for us to get murdered like we do today. We want to protect it, what they call a protected designation, like the Native Americans have. That's what we want. And if we don't get it, we get a promise of that ahead of time from the Democratic Party or from an independent candidate, then we don't vote. And those of you who are Sambos and coons and mammies who think like a slave, and you feel you just have to vote because your grandmama couldn't vote, nigga, take yourself somewhere with that shit. But I'm gonna tell you this. You're gonna get your ass handed to you just like the rest of us who are out here trying to fight to get them tangibles. So if you think you're going to sit in the background and say, nigga, yeah, go out there and stick your neck out there, Iceman. Ha, ha, ha. Let the white supremacists fuck you up while I sit back here in safety back here in the background. Guess what? You know where they're going to start fucking up niggas at? They're going to start in the background, work their way up. That's how it's going down. Now, if you think I'm playing, look at what we're dealing with today. We ain't that far away from that right now. They already killing black people with impunity. How many of these police officers who kill black citizens, how many of them have actually gotten lengthy prison sentences behind killing one of us? I don't think any of them have. Because you don't give long, lengthy prison sentences to white police officers or white citizens that kill niggers. That's what kind of country you live in. And it ain't going to change until you start standing up for yourself and kicking ass. Nobody's going to give you respect. You have to take it. If you want power, black man, you're going to have to take it. Nobody's going to give you shit. When those white supremacists came over here and took this land away from the native people, they didn't come over here asking for shit. They took it. And while you're sitting on your hands thinking you're going to vote your way into power, you don't believe fat meat is greasy, nigga. You don't. You really don't understand how power works in this country. And you never will. And you're going to die an old coon. You're going to die an old slave. Well, oh, I got a college degree. So what? You're a college educated slave. You're still a slave. You're just an educated one. You still ain't no better off than Ray Ray and Pookie and Darnisha and them. You ain't no better off than them. But you think you better than them because you got a college degree. All niggers are created equal. You got to find that out the hard way. All niggers are equal. No more talk.